All right, guys, back working on the DR70, Baja 70. Again, I was planning to do a 90cc conversion, but ran into some issues. If anybody's watched the previous video, had some issues with the timing chain. It's not quite long enough. Well, it's slid back on me now. But so, rather than screwing around with it, it honestly wouldn't be too bad to get a timing chain, pull that cover off, all that stuff. But I bought this bike originally for a quick flip, and I really just don't want to waste any more time on it. It's taken long enough to get stuff with the holidays and everything. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm not going to video it just because really it's the same process I've already done. So going to pull it all back down, pull the cylinder back out, put the original cylinder, the original piston back in the bike, and use this head. So the original issue why I decided to do what I'm doing to it was basically the exhaust valve was bent and wouldn't seal. So probably should have just bought the valve and been done with it at this point, but it was kind of one of those, hey, you know, I can put a 90cc on it and have more power. But I wasn't thinking when you change, it's a little different than if you were to take the stock cylinder and bore it out versus bolting in a 90cc cylinder, where you're gaining a lot of your size is actually the stroke, the length here. It's not so much the diameter. So I'm gonna pull this back off. I'm actually gonna mic my piston and kind of see how close these cylinders are. I'm kind of curious to see how much of a difference there actually is in the cylinder size versus just the length. So pull this all back off, and I'll cut back here in just a little bit when I get a little bit done. All right, guys, got both these cylinders side by side here, just to kind of do a visual comparison. I don't know how well you guys can see that. So maybe like that. Maybe you guys can kind of see the difference in size there. So not a whole lot of difference, but it's enough. By the time the chain goes down and back up, it's enough that it actually couldn't get the timing chain. So again, it is so darn close. But the other thing I didn't look at, I don't know if that sleeve, that kind of gives you a better visual there. So part of that would be then this cylinder sleeve goes down a little further and probably gets, may not have worked anyway. Now after pulling this apart, if you guys can see down in here, it might have slid in too far and covered up. It might have worked. It'd been close, but so what I'm going to do here basically is I'm going to set these both back up here, and yeah, you can tell quite a bit of difference there in height. Now, camera can't really get it in there, but yeah, there's quite a bit of difference. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my mic, I'm gonna mic out each cylinder. I don't think there is a whole lot of difference in the cylinder size at all. Honestly think the piston that's on there, my new one, I think will go right in this cylinder. So I'm gonna do it. I would rather have the nicer, or the new piston rings, if I can. If not, I will shove this one back down, pull the pins, and put this on. So again, I'll cut back here in a second after I get this mic. So yeah, after pulling them out, the piston bore is actually, or the bore is actually identical. So you set a mic in here, they're exactly the same. That's the old piston now in the new cylinder. So what I'm going to do is actually clean this one up, replace all the gaskets on it, put this cylinder in place, and put that head on it. So simple fix, and hopefully maybe now, fingers crossed, I will have this bike running today and hopefully for sale on Marketplace by this afternoon. That's the end goal. Cut back in a minute. All right, so got the old cylinder in place with the new piston in there. Looks really good. Just got the bottom engine bolt started. Made sure all my gaskets, seals, everything's on the bottom side. And then bolt for your timing chain guide. All right, guys, basically just want to just kind of do a comparison. If any of you watched the video before, you can see here how far out these studs are compared to what it looked like with the other cylinder. So yeah, if anybody, I mean, I guess more than anything, I'm hoping this video reaches somebody else that's out there that's looking at doing like a 90cc conversion. If you do it, I mean, if you do it this way, you'll know what you're getting into. You're really not gaining much other than the stroke, and I don't even think you're going to gain anything with the stroke because your piston's not coming all the way up. So yeah, I didn't really think this one through. I should have known. The right way to do this would have been to actually bore the original cylinder and put an oversized piston and rings in that. So it is what it is. This is going together. I'm happy. It should run, and this will still be a quick flip. Really, I think it was like 20 bucks more to do what I did versus just buying the cylinder. So I think it may not even be that. These cylinders on eBay are like 40 bucks, and I think I paid like 56 bucks for everything. So and at the end of the day, I got a new piston and I got a new head. So and the cylinder is great. So this thing should run like a top when I get it finished up here. So, but I really just wanted to show the difference up here on the studs, and then I'll kind of go over here in a second on getting all this timing adjusted here in just a minute. So back in a minute. All right, guys, so at this time I've got everything torqued down 96 inch-pounds on everything. So you can actually do these with a with your torque wrench. If you choose to, you can use a Phillips on those. I didn't. I just tightened them down with a wrench and just got them close. So the top bolts tightened down. Your chain guide tightened down and all torqued. So basically what I'm going to do now is kind of go over the process here of setting your timing. So I don't know how well you all can see that, but you got a T here. So that's your timing mark. You're going to line that up on the top when you bolt in your gear here. So basically you're going to put this just like that. I'm going to clean that up before I put it in there, but it'll go in there just like that. So put that in place. And basically what you're trying to do here is get that dot right here lined up with this groove right here. Get all that lined up, as well as lining up this T with that dot, not actually a T, but the dot here. You're wanting to line that up with that groove right there. So I'm a little bit past, so basically what I'll have to do is hold this here. Sometimes it helps if you put it in gear. You can actually turn this and it'll kind of hold it, because what it wants to do is fall back. You've got the piston on top dead center, and then it wants to roll either down, or if you get too far, it rolls the other way. So but that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this all together because it's kind of hard to hold the camera and do this. So I'm going to do it off camera, get it all set, and I'll come back and show you guys what I'm talking about here. All right, guys, going to kind of show this the best way I can. You guys can kind of see that timing mark there. So if I line that up in line right there, you come around here on the top side. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this. You can see, yep, moved on me. There we go. You can see how it's in line there. Come back down here, get the angle right, and it's in line there. So again, well, that's showing up a little past, but you see that's in line right there. I'll try to hold it one more time. And there, you can see that line's in line there. So I'm gonna let go, it's gonna move, but that's how you get it into timing. really isn't that bad. So right now it should be in time. I'm gonna go ahead and put the side covers on and start working on gapping the valves correctly. So I'll cut back here in a minute. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and set the valves here. So basically you wanna make sure your motor's on top dead center on the compression stroke, which I've already set. So basically, again, that's you got your T up on the top. You wanna make sure it's on the actual compression side of it. So that's where I've got it set right now. So basically what you wanna do is you back this nut off. You guys can see how much plays in there, way too much. So take your filler gauge. You're gonna slip it down right underneath there, like so. And then basically tighten, let me see if I can get that set in there. So we can do this all while recording. And basically tighten this down until you're up against it. I'm probably not gonna be able to do this without, but once you get this tight down against the valve there, you're gonna put your box in, tighten it, and hold the top part with a pair of needle nose like that, and just don't let it move. So really not that bad to do. So there's lots of good videos out there with guys doing it, but that kind of gives you guys an idea. And then pretty much go to the bottom side down here on the exhaust side and do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that because again, it's a little bit difficult holding the camera. So got everything tightened down. I want to do a compression test, but I'm having a hard time finding my compression tester, my gauge. So, but it does seem to have good compression. If you hold your finger over it, I mean, it's really feels good. So I'm gonna keep looking for it. If I can find it, I'll do a compression test real quick on it. Let you guys know what it's at. The next step is get the intake on it, get the carb mounted, and get the exhaust back on. I got all the brackets for that. Get the plug back in it. I need to check here. I think I got a new plug for it. I think this is the right one, AC or A7 TC, I think. So 7HS. I think these are the same. Sorry, looking at I think they're the same plug. So I'm gonna go ahead and gap it and put a new one in it. This one, actually, that one looks really good. So I'll probably throw this one on the shelf. I may keep it, but we'll see. This is one that came with a kit. It was kind of a service kit that I ordered. It came with an air filter, a new carburetor, spark plug. I think that was it. So anyway, I'm gonna see what I can find real quick. See if I can get a compression test on this, and I'll cut back in a minute. So did a compression test. It's running like right at 125. So good. Might actually be a touch more than that. It's having a hard time kicking it and holding it on there and keeping a good seal, but 125 pounds, pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up, and I'll cut back here in a second when I'm getting ready to fire it up. All right, guys, want to kind of show real quick, pulling these studs out of the old head. Basically how I do it, I take a pair of needle nose vice grips, and you can get them there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a spot there in the middle that's not threaded. So clamp them onto it and just work them out. Actually come out pretty easy. Kind of hard to hold this and do it with one hand, but you can see it there spinning. So, but yeah, taking those out, and I'll get those started up, and then we'll work on getting the exhaust. I've already got the carb on it, intake on it. I've got to get the throttle cable here put together. I've got the slide somewhere. There's the top. The slide's over here. So finish getting this put together, and then hopefully here the next video you guys see will actually be it running. Fingers crossed. All right, guys, got the Baja 70 back together. Seems to be running all right. I fired it up and took it up down the road, and just kind of letting the motor heat up, break in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead here, flip the switch on. Doesn't sound too bad. Do a walk around here. Again, this bike will be for sale on Marketplace. As is, I'm not doing any more to it. Tires seem to air it up. Brakes all seem to work. So, and seems to run decent. Doesn't sound too bad. So. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it. And we'll see what happens with this bike. Hopefully I can get rid of it pretty quick and make a couple bucks on it and go on to the next project. So again, if anybody has any questions on this, anything I did, feel free to ask. I'd love it if you guys hit that subscribe button, and thanks again for watching.